So this is a video made by Mohammed Hijab, number 14. So he refuted now 14 error in the Quran. He refuted them all. So let us see what he said, and we discuss together. All right, if what he said is true or not, or it is just a joke, funny and silly. Go.
Today, inshallah, we're going to be tackling a contention that some of these anti-Islamic apologists have tried to put forth. One that stipulates, or that asserts, we could say.
You know, one of the things about those Muslims in YouTube, how they act, you know, like he's so excited and he jumped to the front and he jumped to the back and like I'm really convinced that you are going to say something serious now. Otherwise, why you would jump? Obviously, you're a wise person. Oh boy. I advise you next time not to wear glasses, because I saw your wife on them. Shame on you. All right, continue.
That the Quranic presentation of cosmology is one that says that the sun, it sets into a murky water spring. And why do they say that? Because of a verse in Surah Al-Kahf, chapter 18 of the Quran, with Dhul-Qarnayn, one of the protagonists, one of the characters of the Quran.
Shouldn't you tell us first who is the guy in the world he have two horn? You see, they keep saying Dhul-Qarnayn, Dhul-Qarnayn, but they don't tell you who is the heck is this guy. They don't know. This is how stupid the Quran is. A person with two horn. I mean, isn't it this is a stupid fiction story? Hold on, let me open the AI. By the time you finish your fiction story, I will be making an AI. Man, this AI became my toy now. Well, I paid for it. I better use it. All right. Okay, let us give the AI a command. A man with two horns in his head, medieval time, armed with weapon, looks scary, with Islamic decoration behind him. And Arabic writing. Okay. Let us see if AI will help us to figure out who, because the Muslims, they don't know, you know. We have to ask AI, you know, maybe AI can do something, and I will show you the result. I hope it's going to be successful. It'll take a few. Actually, this software is very fast. I'm impressed with it. Guys, I found. My guys, you will not believe it. What? You want to see what I got? I mean, this software is hilarious. I just did give the command in a second. Guys, let me show you what. Let me download the image. I just did it, and like while I'm talking to you. Unbelievable. Guys, you will die laughing. I'm serious. You will die laughing, literally. If you have a heart attack, huh? You better leave. I will kill you. Literally. Let me show you. I cannot believe that this finally we know how Zulkarnain look like. Zulkarnain mean the guy with the two horn. Takbir. Do you see it? Is it coming to you or not yet? What the heck? Is it coming? Wow. I cannot believe it, man. This AI is really sick. Not yet? It might take time to come to you. Hold on. It should be in the screen right now. No? All right, hold on. Maybe I need to... Okay, give me a minute. I just placed it in the... Maybe my voice coming to you before it. Okay, hold on. Okay, now. No. Okay, let me do it again. Hold on. Maybe because I did not click OK. Guys, you will not believe what I did. Unbelievable. Okay. Where it is? All right. I think, okay, I need to click publish. You see it? Guys, do you see what I just did? Don't tell me it's not coming yet. Can you believe it? Isn't this hilarious? I just did it in front of you. I just said, you heard me giving the command, right? You heard me. I just said, you know, with Quran in his background. Look. I don't know what to say. I never thought that. What the heck is this? I became, you know, like a very serious artist in the world, brother. What I have been done? What I had? Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Dhul Qarnayn, a true story in the Quran. Hold on. I will change even the name of the video. Meet Dhul Let me type it the same as they type it in the Quran translation. Sorry guys, I'm coughing. I cannot believe it, man. Those AI is seriously something scary. All right. I will change the title of my video. And even I will change maybe later the image of the video. I will call it Who is Dhul Qarnayn? Quran 1894. Man, oh man. All right, now we change the name of the video. Yeah, I mean, those AI is amazing, man. It took a second. It took a second. Look at this, you know. So if any of you ever wondering how Zulkarnain look like, now you know. Now you know. All right, just face it, face it. Okay. What's wrong with this? Back to live mode. Okay. All right. So they talk about Zulkarnain, but they will not tell you that Zulkarnain mean a guy with the two horn. And that alone is enough to prove that the Quran is a stupid book. What software? Oh, this is software made by my Arab. We Arab. You know, we made all the AI in the world. We are the first AI species in the world. What are you talking about? You're asking me what software? This called CP software. What's wrong with you? Like, didn't you see me just make it now? You know, I can make software when I'm closing my eyes. Sometimes even I put the keyboard in back of my back and I make softwares. You know? Yeah. Just what are you talking about? So focus with me. This AI is crazy. I can't believe that when I saw the picture, I exploded. I did not find one Muslim he dared to say what Zulqarnain mean. They don't even translate the sentence. They say Zulqarnain as if it's a name, but it's not a name. It says the one with the two horn. So you should translate it. It's not a name. They don't know. Muslims don't agree. If you watch the video of Yasser Kadhi, he said to you, some they say he is Korsh, the king of Persia. Some they say he is Gilgamesh. Some they say he is Alexander the Great. Some they say. This is a book of God. Let us go back to Mohammed Hijab. Guys, invite your friends. We have only not even 600 people. If you don't have 1,000 people by 20 minutes from now, I will go. I better do something else. All right, at least 1,000. Come on. Show your support. All right, let's go back to Mohammed Hijab and see what he will say. And then we come back to the Zulkarnain.
He goes to a certain destination and then he says that he sees the sun وجدها تغرب في عين حمئة, that he saw.
You see how he lie. The Quran didn't say he saw. The Quran it says he found the sun sitting in murky water. There's a huge difference between he saw and he found. You know, finding is more than just seeing, because I can see something but it's not true, like mirage, right? The Quran, the one is talking is Allah. The Jews asked Muhammad, as usual, they got him busted. They asked him, tell us about a prophet, his name is Zulqarnain. The stupid Muhammad, he believed him that there is a prophet, really, and he is accepted by the Jews. So he could not answer them right away. What happened to my voice? Hold on. We drank some water, sorry for that. So they asked him, tell us about Zulqarnain. He could not. Obviously, he don't have information about him enough. Took him a few weeks, and then he came back to them and he told them, Allah told me to tell you this. And then Allah supposedly is the one is telling the story that Zulqarnain, he keep walking, and as we will see, I will show you soon in the Quran, keep walking until he found where the sun set, and he found the sitting place of the sun. So the issue is not only the whole story is just a joke. A guy with a two horn, as we showed you, A man with two horns. He is aggressive. He go to occupy other nations, and he is serving Allah. No name, no place, no geography, no history, nothing. What the point of this story? Nothing. Who is this guy? Nobody knows. Is it possible that there was a person have two horns? Impossible. So this is a fictional story written by a person, his name Yaqub, from Syria, about a real person. His name is Alexander the Great. But the story is fiction, that he went all the way to the end of the world, and he found where the sun set, and he found the sun set in a murky, muddy water. Like this. Hold on, I have two of them now. Let me delete one. All right, take this one. So he kept going, until he found, you see, I made this with AI too. Isn't it beautiful, guys? Isn't this AI is amazing? I cannot believe it, you know? Look at this. It's astonishing. Tomorrow, by the way, I'm going to, maybe mostly tomorrow, I will go live and I will talk about Krishna. You know, those Hindus are getting aggressive, targeting those stupid, white, foolish people. I don't know what's wrong with the white race, you know? I find that, don't tell me like we are racist now, etc. I'm white. Just don't give me this, your garbage, please. I find that white people, they have a problem. Serious problem. And black people have a problem too, like problem, you know, the black people, they have more voodoos and, you know, but white people are so easy to confuse them. It's so easy to play with their mind, to manipulate them. A lot of people have a lot of vacuum. So I think the white people, not because of their race, no, but because their territory becomes so much washed out. So no education, no knowledge of history, no knowledge of geology, no knowledge of religion. They have no knowledge of anything. And then they become so empty inside, and they can hunt them so easy. So Hindu, they hunt them. Muslim, they hunt them. Everybody hunt them. Andrew Tate hunt them. I mean, imagine if we check how many people they watch Andrew Tate and they believe that he is a guru, you will find that 99% of them, they live in the West. This is how much vulnerable people become. So because of that, tomorrow I'm going to make a video which is going to give you an arm to cut Hindu religion into pieces. All right? It's going to be a slaughter. But most likely I will not make the whole video in YouTube. I will make a video in YouTube short to introduce to go to Rumble, because in YouTube, you know this, because I will use the video of Sadhguru. Sadhguru, before he flagged me, you know, I made a video about him. He was talking about why you get upset if somebody criticizes you. That means you have something wrong with you. I made a video for him. He went to YouTube. After 15 minutes, they flagged me. They took it down. I mean, you see how scumbag he is? He's teaching people about accepting, you know, accept to criticize you. Why you think you are always right? The second I made a video about him, my video did not stay online 15 minutes. Nobody saw it. So we will go in Rumble, but I will post a short video in YouTube to tell people to follow us in Rumble. All right? What time tomorrow? We will see. You know, subscribe to Patreon. It's for free. Don't donate. Okay? I'm not asking you to donate. Please, don't donate. Please. Please. I know people are sensitive. You know, you want to donate, you go to those videos, like, you know, they have super chat, you know, don't come to me. So you go to Patreon, it's for free. It's my Facebook page. All right, it's for free. And when I post, everybody see my post. It doesn't matter if you are donating or not. You know, I don't treat people like rich and poor. Doesn't matter. All are equal. So You will see, because I don't know when I'm going to be live, but I will try. I don't know, I might go in the morning tomorrow, so we can get people from India, maybe noontime, so we can get Indian people from, I don't know what, or maybe morning, yeah, maybe morning or noontime or early noontime, so we can get Indian people. We will see. We will see. Uh, yeah, we will talk about sexuality. Don't worry. Don't worry. Anyway, let's go back to our topic about. You guys are not inviting. We have only 679. What I said? I said I will stay another half hour. Already, I think 10 minutes or 15 minutes is gone. All right. If we did not complete 1,000 by 10, I will let it until 10, maximum 10, for 10, maybe 10:45. All right. I will go. All right. So let's go back to Mohammed Hijab and see what he want to say. Oh, look how beautiful this guy is. Hey, Abdul, excuse me. I have to take your picture now down for now. All right. We have to see other Abdul. Go, Abdul.
Saw the sun setting in a muddy spring. And they say this shows, because it's very clear in the Quran, they would argue that this shows that the sun, according to the Quranic cosmology, yes, setting in a spring of murky water. Now let's look at what the mufassirun, the exegetes.
Look. He wanna refute us by what? Who al-mufassirun, which mean those who explain the Quran. Do you see how stupid? We are doing that the same. I mean, do you see how they fabricate? So obviously, those who came long after Muhammad, they knew that this is a fraud. This is false. There's no sun set in a murky water. So they are doing the same as you are doing. You see, what about you go to the Quran? Why we don't go to the Quran and see what the Quran says? And if you want to show me a Muslim, you call him a scholar, isn't you yourself, you don't accept them? He himself don't accept them. Let us show you an example. Go.
Of the Quran aforetime have said. Look at Baydawi, look at Ibn Kathir, look at Ibn Taymiyyah.
Do we accept any of them? I challenge this potato to say yes. Ibn Kathir, he said the earth is a flat. Ibn Kathir. So he will tell you, oh, he is wrong there, he is right here. No, either he can explain the Quran or he cannot explain the Quran. You cannot be both. Either you are a person who have a knowledge, right? Or you don't. You cannot be both. So if I cannot explain a very simple word in the Quran, and then I try to find somebody, I call him a scholar, and this scholar only is a scholar when he is right according to me. When he's wrong, he is dumb. He is stupid. I don't accept him. So people like Mohammed Hijab, you will see even how he makes fun of Muslims when they explain something. You have to agree with him. If you don't agree with him, you are doomed. And that goes even for those who he called them scholars. So he said al-Baydawi, right? Okay, hold on. Tafsir al-Baydawi. Oh, I'm typing in English. All right. All right. Tafsir al-Baydawi is a book written 685 years after Muhammad. Do you know what year does that mean? That mean more than the date, the year is almost the 13th century. 13th century. The end of the 13th century, actually, the 17th century. So why you go to Al-Baydawi? I mean, in the 13th century is already this is a joke. Right? Why you are going to something in the 13th centuries? Because simply you are looking for something will agree with you. But we can show tons of interpretation, especially the older ones, saying the opposite. Same as Ibn Kathir. Ibn Kathir is a new interpretation. Ibn Kathir almost the same period. So what they do, they look for something and they try to prove it to you, saying the guy, this guy, here we go, this is this guy, he made interpretation, okay? And his interpretation saying that the sun does not set in murky water. This is what not what the Quran meant. And then we laugh. If we go and we check an Islamic official website, let us see. Do I have a tafsir here? No. I don't have a tafsir.com. Let me open it. All right. This is the official government website of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which is not a kingdom, really. It's a farm. And here we have all the verses, all the tafsir we are looking for. Tafsir, by the way, for those who do not know what does that mean, it means interpretation. It's an Arabic word for the word interpretation. So we go to chapter 18, verse number 86. I don't know when I zoom in with this thing, why in the screen it zoomed down. You see what happened in the screen? I'm not sure why. Even though in my page nothing changed, you know. All right. Here it's already in Tafsir al-Jalalain. Let us see what al-Jalalain will say. All right. Enter when he reached the sitting of the sun place where it set. Do you see how we get busted in 2 seconds? Where it set, he found it sitting in a muddy spring. Which is containing hamia. He explained what is that. He says, which is a black clay. It is sitting in a spring. And now, Al-Jalalain saying, it is described as seen from the perspective of the eye. For otherwise, it's far larger than the size of the world. So now those are moderate Muslims. They knew that this is a joke. So what we will say? They added things is not the Quran. They said this is from the perspective. But where in the verse we can say it says that? Did the Quran? I mean, look how stupid even that interpretation. Why Allah saying he found it sitting in a murky water? If this was from the perspective, which one in the world he see it this way? Muddy work. It's a spring. It's not even an ocean. Like you see a Muslim who says to you, when you go to the ocean, don't you see the sun going, you know, in the water? So he thought the sun going. This is not. It says a spring. It says muddy. In fact, it says hamia. Hamia is not muddy. Hamia is it means boiling and muddy in the same time, which means murky. So the Muslim, they look for those scholars, they call them scholars, but this is the same guy who said the earth is flat. So do they accept this guy? They will say no, we don't accept him. They accept this, but they won't accept that. But he's the same guy. This is Tafsir Ibn Abbas. All right. Tafsir Ibn Abbas doesn't say anything from perspective. It says it's set in murky water. Why? Because Ibn Abbas is the cousin of Muhammad, and he knew exactly what his cousin said. We don't see here in this old interpretation for the Quran anywhere it says that they thought it says perspective. This is not true. This is not what the Quran is saying. He said it clearly. Till when he reached the setting place of the sun, which means there's a place where the sun set, which is, that's alone proof that the Quran is a fraud, because sun set everywhere. I do not need to go to a place to find where the sun set. If I stand still in my place, doesn't matter where I am in the world, the sun will set. I mean, even if you are in Alaska, it might be like different, it takes long time, the winter, summer, etc. But still, you do not need to go anywhere. The sun set wherever you are. So the phrase alone is enough to prove that the Quran is fraud. And here it says, sitting in a muddy spring, a blackened, muddy, stinking spring, stinking. And the reason he is saying that, because simply the volcano boiling water or chemical material coming from volcanoes, they smell bad. You know what do you call it? Kibrit, sulfur. You know, sulfur. That's why he's saying stinky. So all Legions believe that the sun goes down in the spring of water, where it heat itself again, receive heat. This spring of water is massive, not in size, but massive in power of heat. It is from the fire of the earth. So the sun goes down all the way, and then the sun receive the heat by going through the earth, going all the way down. And then this sun, after receiving enough heat, come from the other side of the earth, not from the same hole. No, it comes from one side, or it comes through one side, and then it goes to the other side. It go literally into the earth, down in the ground, and come from the other side of the earth. And this is why we see it going in from direction, and then it comes from the other direction. So they're trying to explain why and how that is happening. Like, you know, just to show you, I'm not making you know, things up. So if we go, even Shia interpretation, not only Sunni, who is this guy? The AI. So if we go to, let us see if we find in English we have only limited. Let us go to Arabic. All right, let us see if we can find. Let us see At-Tabari. He mentioned At-Tabari. Mohammed Hijab, he mentioned At-Tabari. All right. He said, like At-Tabari, right? All right. Here At-Tabari, he is saying that many disagree about the interpretation of the interpretation. Not only that, they disagree about how to read the verse, which mean even the scriptures itself is not the same in all the Quran. So this is scriptures have different phrases in different Quran. This was Al-Tabari. This guy Abdul, he mentioned Al-Tabari, which mean we have other verses in other Qurans. They are not the same exactly as this what we see right now. And then he said it's mentioned. I will use translation, by the way, but for now, you know what? Let me translate the whole page for you, and you can read with me. Even though I like the English translation would not be, you know, perfectly good, but at least better than nothing. What we can do. So let us use translation. What is the translation? Usually this software should show translation right away. I don't see it. Ah, here. All right. Okay. So as you see, this is At-Tabari. All right. And you will see here that the interpretation, the Muslims, they differ about the interpretation of this, and even the readers in reading it, which means there is other, they have other reading. In fact, he give you other reading, which means there's other Quran. It doesn't say at all what this Quran is saying, the one we are reading right now. It says something else. All right. So instead of Ainin Hamia, it says Ainun Hamia. Ainun Hamia. What the different is not really too much different. However, if we go in the meaning with more details, we'll make it even more stupid. But let us go with this. Let us see where he explained. All right. Here you will see it says the word ayn, by the way, ayn, it means in Arabic, it means eye if you use it for a human being. It means a spring of water if you use it for water. All right. So the same word, because it is small. So ayn, the second we say ayn, it means something small. Like as I showed you in the picture here, if you remember, it's not bigger than this. All right. You see how the screen, the hole is? Ayn is not something, it can be like a floating water, which means making a lot of water. Doesn't matter how much water is coming, but it still is small. Like the source of it is a small water. Like a small hole in the ground. It can be like the water coming like crazy. It can be so drop of water. Still we call it ayn. All right. But it has to be small. Not a lake. It's not a lake. Ayn is where it's like the same as the tears come from your eyes. It's the same as the water come from the ayn. The ayn in Arabic mean eyes. So it's an eye of water. All right. It's an eye of water. The same as your eye can generate water, which is tears. So reading in the ayn of Hamia or Hamia, and here they are going to give us more explanation. All right. Let us see. I'll try to read Arabic faster so we can go. Yeah, here they are showing you how they disagree about the reading. They disagree. This is all about disagreeing. We want to see the meaning. Look, the whole talk actually here is just about he said read, we should say it this way. Jabir, he said that way. This is just about disagreeing about how to read the Quran. This is the Quran, they say it's preserved. At the end it says, in eyes of Hamia, he says it's a black sludge in which the sun set. Do you see the interpretation? All right. So he mentioned Mohammed Hijab. He mentioned At-Tabari. Okay, we'll have Tabari. Here we go. All right. This is At-Tabari. Let us go to page number 2. Because there's page number 2 to continue the interpretation. All right. So it's a hot eye of water where the sun set. And here the Muslims, they are trying to find a solution for this stupidity. All right. So if you go down here, you keep reading, you will see here it says, the Messenger of Allah, May Allah pray on him and grant him a salute, not peace. This false translation. Looked at the sun when the sun was absent, and he said, in the fire of God the protector, in the fire of God the protector. Otherwise he would not remove it from the commands of God. It would have burned what is on earth. All right. So this is a hadith. The Muslim, they are witnessing for it about more what Muhammad says. So if we go and find this hadith here, let me try to find it. We will not find it because it's not anywhere authentic. What we will find this. So the Muslim, to support their case, they choose their own hadith. Maybe it's going to help them. This is the hadith we are talking about, not the hadith they are showing in their interpretation. Muhammad is making it clear that the sun set in muddy boiling water. All right, the sun set in a muddy boiling water. And who knows the Quran better than Muhammad? And is this hadith is da'if? No. What about the other hadith? In fact, I can show you the other hadith even in the book of in Ibn Kathir. Let us see. I will go to Ibn Kathir later. Just let us go, and I will try to find this hadith he mentioned. I'm trying to find the source of this hadith, where it's coming from, the other hadith they mention. Yeah, you see they are mentioning a hadith. Actually here, look, okay, let me show you. Guys, let me show you. Let me show you the hypocrisy of the Muslims. This is the hadith is mentioned in this page. Right away, it says that this hadith is stupid, and the one who mentioned it is ignorant. Let me translate the page for you. Where is the translation? I know this page sometime translation disappear. I'm trying to translate. I don't see the Arabic option to translate. What happened to the translation option? Is that a translation? No. Okay, now it appear. All right. What happened? What? Why the translation is not working? Oh boy. It says Swedish. Suddenly the language now, according to this software, it's a Swedish. Okay. Lord have mercy. This is Arabic potato, not Swedish. All right. No, okay. I want to change this language here, not that one. Arabic. Okay, Arabic. All right. And here we switch again to English. Hey, come on, open. Sorry, guys. I'm clicking, it's not opening. Can you believe it? Okay, choose English. All right, now, finally. All right. So, this is the hadith here. Let us see. The funny is, they will say to you that this hadith is this is a comment, comment of the one who is making the website. Scientifically, the hadith is accurate, but the hadith itself, the one who wrote the hadith is ignorant and he is stupid. Let us see here. It says, where is the translation? Where is the translation? It should be here next to the number. This website, this translation is really messed up. All the numbers are disappeared. I can't even find where it says. What happened? Let me search for 6934. You see, in Arabic, if I switch to Arabic, let me show you. I don't see the numbers at all. Like the numbers are gone. I don't know what happened to this. So if I switch back to Arabic, okay. Let me open this page. Give me a second. It's the same page. Why it doesn't show the same? I don't know. I have to go to the end. Hold on. So when we click at the page, it went. All right. Let us now translate. Sorry. So it went all the way down when we flipped the page. Translate to English. It switched to Swedish again. It went to Swedish again. What's wrong with this website? Oh boy. Okay, hold on. This page is not a Swedish. All right. So now we go. What happened? Lord have mercy. Look, it went back to Swedish. It says this language is Swedish. Let me find the hadith in different places. Sorry, guys. I will find the same story here in different website. All right. What was the address for this website? You don't copy the same one. All right. Let us find a different website, the same hadith. All right. This is the same book, but this is a different website because this website is giving me, driving me nuts. All right. So where is the translation? I don't know. I'm going to switch. Hold on. I'm going to switch the website. Give me a minute. I mean the browser. This browser is not working with me. This browser is good to use it for YouTube. It doesn't allow advertising. That's why I'm using it. But I guess I have to switch. All right. Oh, you guys don't see anything anyway. I still have a picture there. It's my fault. Oh boy. All this time, you guys, you see nothing? Poor me. All right, you did not miss much. I apologize. We'll go back. So anyway, this is a website here. I open it in different browser. Is it coming to you now? I apologize. I did not notice really that you guys are not seeing the screen. I wasn't looking at the chat. It's my fault. So anyway, what's wrong with those websites? Where it goes? What's wrong with them? All right. So this is the hadith which they are quoting in the tafsir. But look what it says. Here in this way, in this browser, I can use this translation here, this option. You see what it says? It's weak. Look what it says here. This is the one I was trying to translate for you. It's weak, and the narrator is an ignorant idiot.
Ham 6934 and Shuaib al-Arna said its chain of transmission is weak due to the ignorance of the narrator on the authority of Abdullah bin Amr.
See, so this hadith is totally rejected. However, this is a new website. This is a new book. They are saying, well, the earth now, as we know, it is a huge. It is 1.3 million. The size of the earth. So this is a new book written by Muslims.
It is a giant spherical celestial body that is 1.3 million planet-like.
So what the Muslims are doing now in the new books, they are saying to themselves, there is no way that the earth, the sun, is sitting in a murky water. Now scientists, they discover, I don't know if the number is true, is 1.3 million time. Is that correct? Million time? Okay, let me ask Prophet Google. How many times the earth is bigger? Sorry, not the earth. How many times the sun is bigger than the earth? 109 times larger than the earth. All right. I don't think this is correct. 109 only? I don't know. That's what it says here. The sun is about 325 times heavier and about 1 time bigger than the size of the earth. So anyway, the Muslim now, they knew that this is false and this can't be true. So they are trying to fix it in their new interpretation for the Quran. But we have evidence from Muhammad's mouth saying clearly that the sun really set in a murky water. As we see here. And this is an authentic hadith. So the Muslim now, in order to refute us, they use a hadith which is rejected by them. And they themselves, they say that the one who mentioned this hadith is not trustworthy and he's ignorant. And he never even heard of Muhammad. He never was with Muhammad. So they do anything to try to fix the story. But if we go to the Quran itself, we will find this. In the Quran, there is nowhere it says he thought, perspective, it appeared like it, but it's not. You know, the Muslims, they say the Quran is a very wonderful Arabic book, and Allah in the Quran supposedly made it clear, and he even said we made our Quran clear. So why we are so confused? Why the Muslim now trying to defend this? If the Quran is so clear and the Quran is saying he keep going until he reached the sitting place of the sun, which is alone to prove to us that Muhammad is speaking of a place where the sun set, not a place, not any, there's no other place in the world to call it this. If there's any place in the world we can call it where the sun set, that's false. So the first statement here alone is enough to prove to us that Muhammad, he meant certain thing. It's a place, it's a location, it's a physical location, and this is where the sun set. So the guy keep going, and now he reached a point. So what the Quran trying to say to us, he reached the end of the world where the sun set in that water, and then he found it, not he thought. Like there is a girl, her name is Fifi. He said in the Quran the word found appear many times. In fact, in the same chapter it appear many times. All right, the word wajada, just to show you how stupid those Abdul when they try to defend the Quran. All right, you see the word wajada? The word wajada mean he found. Is that a fiction? Is that he thought? Like here, chapter 3, verse number 37, this is about Mary, the mother of Jesus, supposedly. Each time Zechariah, he entered into her place, he found food and fruits. He asked her, who brought you this? You say, Allah. Okay. So he thought or he found? He found. You see, it says he found. This is the same word is mentioned in the verse about the sunset and murky water. So each time he go inside, it's a fiction story again. Like, you know, God, he sent fruit and vegetables and grocery to Mary. Why? And she don't go outside, she see nobody. And Zechariah go inside, he said, where is this fruit coming from? She say, Allah, you know, supermarket, Allah. Yeah. So when he enter upon her, wajada in the wajada, you see wajada? All right. So this is the same word. And again the same word. In verse number 1893, it says that the same guy, chapter 18, Zulqarnain, when he arrived between the two dam, not two mountains, he found. Is that he thought? The same word, the same guy, the same guy. Exactly the same guy. You see it? The same word is exist in many in the same chapter in the Quran. Look how many times. The same exact word. Each time it's coming as found. So if I search right now in this verse for the word found, how many times I will find it? Look at this. Look at this. Found, found, found. In fact, in the same verse we are reading, chapter 18, verse number 86, the word found appeared twice. So he arrived to the sun setting place, and then he found it sitting, and next to it, next to this place where the sun set, he found people. This is not he thought, where the Muslims are trying to make it look like it is he thought. This is from his perspective. And then the same word again appear in the Quran in many places in the same chapter. The same guy, he kept going until when he came to the rising place of the sun, again the same poo-poo. The rising place of the sun. Like, is this guy he have one day journey? No, this guy he spent his life traveling and going to war. Simply supposedly he occupied the world. This is Alexander the Great. So he kept going, keep going, and then now, so now he went first, he found where the sun set. He found it sitting in the murky water, and now he decided to go and find where the sun rise, and he found it. So that's it, the earth is flat. He went all the way to where the sun rise and all the way where the sun set. And as you see, the Quran insists to say, when he came to the rising place of the sun, the rising place of the sun, Well, Zulqarnain do not know to go anywhere, do not need to go anywhere to find the rising place of the sun, because the sun rises everywhere. Right? I do not need to go anywhere. You stay in your home, the sun set tomorrow. If it's night for you. Where do you need to go? Do I need to go? Do I need to travel? Do I need to take away? Do I need to change destination? That's what the Quran is saying. So he took another way, as you see in the verse before it. He kept going until he reached the setting place of the sun. So when this Mohammed Hijab is trying to fix it, we laugh at you. And not only that, even the Shia, they got the Muslim busted. Like if I go here, if I go to the Shia interpretation, now I know the Muslim, they will say, we don't accept the Shia, but you don't accept the Sunni too. Hypocrite. Do you accept the Sunni? Potato? I don't know what's wrong with this page. The second I zoom, I open these numbers, the picture shrink, the image. All right. So let us go to the Shia, just to show you the Shia. Let us switch to the Shia. All right. This is At-Tabrasi. All right. Where he is talking about, all right, maybe page number 2. All right. Read with me carefully. Let me translate for you. Speaking about this guy, Dhul Qarnayn, it says here,
He had on his head what looked like 2 horns, and the turban concealed him on the authority of Ya'la bin Ubayd, including that he reached the 2 diameters of the earth from the east and the west.
So this guy, he went all the way and he occupied the east and the west. All right. And then here it says, according to Az-Zuhri, and this is according to Az-Zajjaj, those are names of people, that he saw in his dream that he came to the sun and he held it from its 2 horns. They are telling you why he's called the man with the 2 horns. All right. So this is the guy with the 2 horns, or the person with the 2 horns. So this is not about the sun now. This is about why he is called the person with the 2 horns. Let us do it again. This highlight again. They're trying to find the reason why he's called with the 2 horns. You know, duct tape.
He saw in his dream that he approached the sun until he caught its horns in the east.
Muhammad, he believed that the sun have horns, just to let you know. And we can show you many hadith about. Now we go to where the sun set. Let us see. So until he arrived where the sun set. Okay. So here it says he arrived to the location where the sun set.
Until it reaches the setting of the sun.
All right. Here it says he found it as if it is sitting in murky water. Where it says, here we go.
It means he found it as if it was setting in a swampy spring.
As if was sitting. Okay. Now we continue. Just to show you how the Muslims are confused. So this is the tafsir At-Tabrasi. If we go to different tafsir, we will find something else. Give me a second. It doesn't have all the tafsir here. I'm just trying to show you Shia and Sunni trying to duct tape the stupidity of the Quran. All right. Do they have the Mizan here? Mizan. No. Okay, hold on. Let us see. Okay, that's fine. Different page anyway. Okay, read with me this one. How many people we have now? I said I will leave, huh? I did not leave yet. Oh, we didn't even have 1,000. How sad. You guys don't deserve me. And I don't deserve you too. Very hard-working people. So here it says, let us see. I'm trying to find which part. All right. Look what it says here. If we go all the way down, look how long this page, man. Oh boy. Let me look for it right away. Otherwise, we will spend an hour going down. All right. So now here, according to At-Tabrasi, An As-Sadiq alayhi salam. This is serious talk. As-Sadiq, for them, this is Ali. Ali, when he died, he became his son. His son died. He became his son became so the family of Ali never died. Muhammad himself is according to those Shia, they are alive. So those are the imams of the Muslim Shia, and whatever they say is true. So he said, let me show a translation here. A person, he asked the Imam As-Sadiq,
Al-Sadiq, peace be upon him, in a long hadith in which the questioner said, "Tell me about the sun, where does it set?"
So he asked him where the sun set. He said, let me from here. All right.
He said, "When it descends to the bottom of the dome, the astronomy will move towards the depths of the sky, ascending forever until it descends to the place of its beginning."
Now the translation here is not really accurate. So what he's saying, actually, let us see here this part. We'll explain it to you better. What he meant, because they are explaining what he meant in this sentence.
It means that it sets in a swampy spring, then it penetrates the earth, returning to the place of its beginning, and occults under the throne until it is given permission to rise, and its light is taken away every day, and it is illuminated with a red light.
See? So the sun, this is the how Muhammad understand it. The sun goes and go inside the murky water, boiling water, and then go through the earth and came from the other side. Now, how we can confirm that the Shia interpretation and the Sunni interpretation agree together? We go to the hadith. Read with me. And I will show you authentic hadith. Actually, this hadith approved by a scholar, big scholar in YouTube. He have a beard like a goat. Fifi. Remember when he made a video for Apostate Prophet, he says, yes, this hadith is accurate. So this hadith here says, Muhammad was riding his donkey in the time of the sunset. the Prophet says to Abu Dhar. Dhar in Arabic mean ants, which were very weird. They call a person the father of the ants. Anyway, Arab. Do you know where the sun set? You see here, do you think he is going to say, I mean, if I say, do you know where the sun set, that means I am obviously saying that it's set in a physical place. So now the sun set, do you know where? You see this question? Muhammad did not say, do you know how we see it this way? No, he said, do you know where? So either Muhammad being sarcastic, making fun of a fool, or he really believe that really it goes to somewhere, it's a location. And obviously from reading the rest of the statement, we will find that Muhammad believed that the sun set somewhere. Read carefully. The man said, he replied, Allah and his apostle know best. Muslims, they associate the knowledge of their God, Allah, with the knowledge of a man. And they claim that they are monotheist. You know? You cannot be monotheist and you say, like, Jesus and Christian Prince know best. You cannot say that. Because by saying that, you make Christian Prince equal to Jesus. So who is the, you know, Allah and Muhammad knows best. They are mushrikeen. They are not monotheists. They are monotheists. They are polytheists. And they worship Muhammad. He said, this is Muhammad talking, it goes. Do you see the word goes? We can look for the video where Fifi, if somebody want to download the video, you can add the video of Fifi, where he said, yes, apostate prophet, this hadith confirm that the prophet is saying the truth. The sun goes. But this alone prove that Muhammad is a fraud, because the sun goes nowhere. It's not the sun moving, presenting for us the sunset, the sunrise. Is that Muhammad now, he think he meant something else, or he said it goes? It goes and prostrate underneath Allah's throne. And that is Allah's statement. So Muhammad now is even explaining the Quran. And the sun runs to on a fixed course for a term. Chapter 36, verse number 38. So now we have a Quran and we have a hadith. Both they say to us that the sunset occur because the sun moving from point A to point B. And Muhammad is sponsored what he explained by the statement in the Quran in chapter 36, verse number 38. Here now, if we go, Mimi Hijab, he mentioned Ibn Kathir, right? In a second now, Mimi Hijab, he will regret. He will say he don't agree with Ibn Kathir. Chapter 36, verse number 38. Did they go to Ibn Kathir? Horrible. A disaster. You notice here, I'm not the one who chosen to go to this chapter. It's Muhammad, he mentioned it. Muhammad, he mentioned it to explain to us how the sun move, right? As you see, this is Muhammad talking, not me. 36, not 38. Okay, and here we go to 38. So this is Ibn Kathir. Look what Ibn Kathir, remember Mimi Hijab, let me go back to the video of Mimi Hijab. He explained to us, he said that he is quoting Ibn Kathir. So now they cannot say, I don't accept Ibn Kathir, right? You have to accept Ibn Kathir now. Let's go back to Mimi. Just to remind you of what he said. Did he mention Ibn Kathir? I need to move it a little bit. Okay.
Today, inshallah, we're going to be tackling a contention that some of these anti-Islamic apologists have tried to put forth. One that stipulates, or that asserts, we could say, that the Quranic presentation of cosmology is one that says that the sun, it sets into a murky water spring. And why do they say that? Because of a verse in Surah Al-Kahf, chapter 18 of the Quran, with Dhul-Qarnayn, one of the protagonists, one of the characters of the Quran. He goes to a certain destination, and then he says that he sees the sun, وَجَدَهَا تَغْرُبُ فِي عَيْنٍ حَمِئَةٍ, that he saw the sun setting in a muddy spring. And they say this shows, because it's very clear in the Quran, they would argue that this shows that the sun, according to the Quranic cosmology, yes, setting in a spring of murky water. Now let's look at what the mufassirun, the exegetes of the Quran, aforetime have said. Look at Baydawi, look at Ibn Kathir, look at Ibn Taymiyyah.
Did he say Ibn Kathir, guys? Did he just say Ibn Kathir? Right? Okay. And remember, Ibn Kathir and Al-Baydawi, all those names he mentioned, those they came many centuries after Muhammad, more than 600, 700, 8 centuries after Muhammad. So we are talking about the 13th, 14th centuries, where all this information is old already. Nobody believe in those garbage. But when we went to Ibn Abbas, he confirmed that the sun goes in a murky water. This is the cousin of Muhammad. But as long as he mentioned Ibn Kathir, you will see in a second, he will bite his tail. He will say, I don't agree with Ibn Kathir. Let us go to Ibn Kathir. Well, this is Ibn Kathir. Read what Ibn Kathir is saying. Ibn Kathir here, explaining chapter 36, verse number 38, which Muhammad he mentioned in the hadith, as we showed you. And to explain that verse, he is using other verses. All right? So he explained to you that among the signs and the might and the power of Allah are the night, the day, the sun, and the moon. So it is what? This is one of the signs of Allah. All right. Allah tell us of a further proofs of his great might and power, which is a creation of the night and the day, the one which is darkness and the other one which is light. He has caused them to flow one another. Is that me talking or Ibn Kathir? So according to Ibn Kathir, the day and the night themselves are object and they float. How we can prove that? Just continue. So that comes and other goes, and so on. He says, he bring the night as its cover over the day, seeking it is rapidly. Chapter 7, verse number 54. So Ibn Kathir now is quoting for us other chapter in the Quran to explain chapter 36, verse number 38. And he continues saying, and the sign of them is the night. We withdraw therefrom the day. So again, the Quran confirmed that the sun, the night, the day, the moon are 4 different objects. They are not the same. So Allah would draw the night from the day, and then they would have darkness. So how did darkness happen? Allah, he take away the night. Until now, the Muslim would say, you prove nothing. You know, he's just talking metaphorically. Okay, no problem. But let's continue. We go now to the Quran. وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لِمُسْتَقَرٍ لَهَا. And the sun, and remember, this is the verse which Muhammad mentioned. In where? In the hadith we mentioned for you. Here. This is the verse. This is why we came here. He's explaining that he said where the sun goes. He says it goes under the throne of Allah. All right. Where is that location? We will find out soon. And the sun runs on its fixed course, and that is the meaning on chapter 36, verse number 38. Let's go back to Ibn Kathir. Until now we have 97.5. Should I stop and go? You guys are helping very much. Should I activate support chat so people will come? So they can post donation and show off? Is that what make people come? I don't understand, like what I'm losing my voice. The internet company, they send me an email saying we will charge you $10 for every etc. gigabyte from now on, because you are even you are over, you know, do your streaming contract. I don't know what's wrong with people. You go and you sit with people, they are just sitting making mockery and bluffing and stupid things. All right, I will do my part. So here, and the sun runs to its fixed course for a term appointed. That is the decree of the Almighty. This is the verse in the Quran. There is two views about the meaning of this phrase. Okay. لِمُسْتَقَرٍ لَهَا. Let's see what مُسْتَقَرٍ لَهَا mean. It's for fixed course of a term appointed. The first view, that is refer to its fixed course location, which is beneath the throne, beyond the earth direction. This is Ibn Kathir. Remember, this is what Mimi Hijab said. Let us go to Ibn Kathir. So Ibn Kathir confirmed that the sunset is based on movement of the sun. The sun is going. So the stupid Mimi Hijab, he tried to fix the sun sitting in a spring of water. He found himself now in different horrible mistake in the Quran. By mentioning Ibn Kathir, can now Mimi Hijab say I don't accept Ibn Kathir? So this is the first opinion, and we will see what Ibn Kathir agree upon. Beyond the earth, that is in that direction, wherever it goes, and it is beneath the throne, it and all the creation before the throne is the roof of the creation. It is not a sphere. Listen carefully. Is not a sphere as many astronomers claim, rather is a dome supported by legs or pillars. Mimi Hijab, he believe in Ibn Kathir. Mimi Hijab, huh? Believe in what? In Ibn Kathir. And in his interpretation, he says that those scholars, they knew that the earth, you know, the same video, he said the earth is not a flat. The same stupid guy in the same video. If I go right now, let me go. Hilarious, huh? Let me copy the timeline. Oh, not here. Okay. The timeline, so we can go back here easy. All right. If you go here down in the video, you will see he have a timeline. Let us see where he speak about the earth. I will type a flat. All right, where it says a flat. Ah, okay. The Quran. Is the earth a flat? Oh. Does the Quran mention Here it's about the embryo. Okay, let's go here.
Months actually collating data and using the interdisciplinary approach where we consult with scientists, with theologians, with scholars of different backgrounds within the Islamic tradition, and of course with philosophers of science, to come to conclusions about the extent to which there is in fact a conflict, a supposed conflict, between what is observably observable to us, empirically let's say, and the Quranic text. This of course requires knowledge in many different areas, and I would like to thank all of those who contributed to this series before I begin. Now, this video comprises of the, as I've mentioned, most common contentions. You may see the most common...
Start, where is the start? We click at the, why he's going to, hold on, there is something wrong here. We are talking about the earth does I think there's a mistake here in the, I don't know. Okay, let's see, 1847, 118, 18, 126.
Today, inshallah, we're going to be...
Yeah, there's a mistake in timing. Like when we click, it's going where? I don't know where it. Where is the one about the Earth is flat? Which one? The camel medicine. Looked like it took him a year to make this video. Look. In fact, he is explaining the same one we are talking about. Let's read this one. Let's see this one. Does the hadith, hold on. Does the hadith... I mean, we cannot even go back to the... What's wrong with this thing?
Earth, which they've said and spoken about, and we have a separate video on, but one which is flat and stationary, and where in which the sun is going around it in a geocentric way, and thus it's confirming the 7th century, understanding of cosmology, and this is an evidence that it's false. So as I've mentioned, the discussion of flat earth versus round earth is in a separate video which you can find on this series. So if you want to see me talk about that, you can pause the video now, watch that video and come back. Now, in regards to this particular video, let's read the hadith in question and move on to what the specific contentions are. So the hadith is narrated by Abu Dharr al-Ghifari, may Allah be pleased with him. And he said that the Prophet ﷺ said, do you know where the sun set? Do you know where it goes? I said, Abu Dharr says, Allah and His Messenger know best. He said, it goes and prostrates beneath the throne. Then it asked for permission to rise, and permission is given to it. Soon it will prostrate, and it will ask for permission to rise, but permission will not be given to it. It will be said to it, go back to where you came from.
Go back.
So it will rise from its place of setting. And that is what Allah, may Allah be glorified, may He be glorified, refers to in the verse. And the sun runs on its fixed course for a term appointed. And that is the decree of the mighty, the all-knowing. He's mentioning, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is mentioning an ayah, Surah Yasin, chapter 36, verse number 30.
Wonderful.
وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لِمُسْتَقَرٍ لَهَا. That the sun runs on a fixed term decreed. So let's talk about what the contentions are. The contentions really, you could say, are 3 in number. 3 main contentions. The first one relates to this prostration of the sun. What do we understand from this hadith when we talk about the prostration of the sun? Is it to be suggested that this is an anthropomorphic or a personified picture of the celestial sphere that is the sun? And isn't this more in line with mythology and ancient legend than it is with the scientific contemporaneous reality that we know from examination and from advances in science? That's number one. The second thing is about the going. How could the sun be going underneath the throne? And this shows, they say, the fact that the sun is going somewhere in sunset, that it's confirming, they say, the geocentric picture. Thirdly, they say the time of sunset. So why is it that the time of sunset is in any way significant? Knowing that sunset is at different times, at different points of the round earth. I know there may be some flat earthers listening to this, and as I've said, there's a video for you guys or for other people about the flat earth. So that's
we know that the Quran says in many places the earth is flat, and this is why your Ali Dawah, he agreed that Allah, he come down every third part of the night. You remember Ali Dawah, when he made a video saying the Trinity, God cannot enter his creation, and later 2 weeks after the dummy, he admit that Allah, he enter his creation and come down every third part of the night. So if the earth is not a flat, how many third part of the night we have? Your God is a yo-yo. That's what your prophet said, and Ali Dawah agree with it, and even Fifi agree with it. Now, Mr. Flat Earth, continue, and I'm very thankful that you mentioned this hadith we are reading already in Kathir, which is mentioned chapter 36, verse number 38. Continue.
These are the three main contentions.
And let us see now if he is going to mention Ibn Kathir as he mentioned before. Remember, 2 minutes ago we showed you he is talking and mentioning Ibn Kathir. Let us see what Ibn Kathir is saying. What did he read Ibn Kathir, what he said about exactly what he's talking about now? I don't think so. Let us see.
So let's deal with them one by one. And in terms of verses of the Quran, we will be discussing those verses of the Quran which people try to use to refer to geocentrism in an entirely different video. So the first issue that people have is in relation to prostration. They say, what is this prostration? The Quran says in chapter 17, وَإِن مِّن شَيْءٍ إِلَّا يُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِهِ وَلَكِنْ لَا تَفْقَهُونَ تَسْبِيحَهُم, that everything in the heavens and the earth glorifies Allah, and nothing in the heavens and the earth does anything but glorify Allah, but you do not understand the way in which that takes place.
No, he didn't, the Quran did not say it. It said you don't understand how what they say, not how it takes place. What they say, tasbihahum, liar.
So this verse shows that the celestial bodies, the inanimate objects, all of those things in the world, whether living or not, has a means of glorifying Allah. And this is actually in the realm of the metaphysical. So science does not tap into this, and it has nothing to do with science. In fact, the Quran explicitly says, وَلَكِنْ لَا تَفْقَهُونَ تَسْبِيحَهُمْ. In other words, the sun and the moon and or the universe, it has a way of glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala which is distinctly different from the way in which we do so. So to try and impose an anthropomorphized or a personified...
You see, he used fancy words in order to get away. I mean, what do you mean? How the sun and the moon, they praise Allah. What do you mean? Are they living object? In fact, they are. Let us get this guy busted. According to the stupid Quran, the Quran say the following. You see, Mohammed Hijab do not know what he's talking about, as usual. He go prepare himself like when he wanted to talk to me. Let us see, where is Quran? Wow. Let us copy Quran. Wow. All right. If you go here, Allah he asked the sun and the earth and the mountains to accept Islam and to accept the trust of Allah. So are they living creatures according to the Quran? Yes. Chapter 33 verse number 72. Truly we did offer the trust, read carefully, this is not my translation, or moral responsibility or honesty and all the duties which Allah has ordained to the heaven and the earth and the mountains, but they decline. So does the Quran confirm that the earth, the mountains, the sky, the sun are living creatures? Yes. In fact, we know that Muhammad, he says that the black stone will come down in the day of resurrection with a mouth and eyes and a tongue, and is going to witness for every Muslim. Right? You remember? So Mohammed Hijab, he knew that those people, they wanted to question what he's saying. Nobody will go and search after his butt. So yes, in Islam you believe that stones, they talk. Isn't it your prophet, he says, في مكة حجر يحبنا ونحبه. There's in Mecca, there's a stone, he loved me and I love him. And each time I go there, he say, Assalamu alaikum, O Messenger of Allah. A stone. A stone say to Muhammad, Assalamu alaikum. This is your book. And this is Hassan. This is not Da'if. Hassan, 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 Hassan. This one, you see it? And this is here Sahih at-Tirmidhi. Let us read this one. I heard Ibn Abbas says, the Messenger of Allah said, this throne, this is stone, sorry, which means the black stone, will be brought in the day of resurrection, and it will give in two eyes, which to see, and a tongue, which to speak, and it will bear witness for those who touch it in sincerity. So do Muslims believe that solid objects are alive and they have mind? How the stone is going to witness? Is that metaphorically? No, obviously. It have eyes. It have a tongue. It have a mouth. So, and when Muhammad says, as stones, they say to him, Assalamu alaikum. Are we lying, Muslims? There's one of two issues. Either you say your prophet is mentally ill, all right, or truly you believe that the stones talk. And why the stone is talking? Just to say, Assalamu alaikum, Messenger of Allah. Let me find the hadith. According to Muhammad, not even a single tree or a stone Muhammad walked by except they say to him, Oh, Salamu alaikum, O Messenger of Allah. Let me see if I can find this hadith here in English, otherwise we will show it to you in Arabic. Maybe not in Arabic here. Okay, let us find another one here in this website. This one should be here. In English. Muhammad is talking, and this is Sahih. You see, this is Sahih Muslim. This is not a. They cannot say this is da'if, and you know, Muhammad he claim. I recognize the stone in Mecca, which used to pay me salutation or salutation before my advent as a prophet, and I recognize that even now. The other hadith in Arabic, which I could not find in English here, let me show it to you. Let me see if I can find this one in English before we move to. So as you see, Muslims, I see Allah, he offered the mountains. How the mountains and the trees and the sky and the earth, Allah is offering them the duty of Islam. What does that mean? Read carefully. And this is Sahih. Once when I was with the Prophet in Mecca, and we went out into the district, like the outskirt, not a single mountain or a tree which confronted him failed to say, Assalamu alaikum, O Messenger of Allah. Now the guy, he did not hear anything. That's what Muhammad told him, because Muhammad, he respond. So Muhammad, he walk in the street, or he walked next to the mountain, he arrived, he say, Assalamu alaikum assalam. He claimed that the mountain just told him, Assalamu alaikum, O Messenger of Allah. The guy with him, he did not hear anything. Not a single tree. So Muhammad, he walked trees, they say to him, Assalamu alaikum, Prophet Allah. Muhammad is saying, Wa alaikum assalam, tree. How are you doing? The other tree, Wa alaikum assalam, Wa alaikum assalam. He go, there is a rock, Wa alaikum assalam, Wa alaikum. The guy, he's saying, this guy, he's saying Assalamu alaikum to who? And who is the one who mentioned this? Ali ibn Abi Talib, the cousin of Muhammad. Can they accuse him of lying? Right? Let's see. Like, actually, there's a verse in the Quran, I just remember, I think in the chapter of Al-Baqarah, I think it may be 73 or 74. Let me see, hold on. Al-Baqarah, yeah, I think Al-Baqarah. Yeah, the cow. Read carefully. I was right. Chapter 2, verse number 74. It says here, Muhammad, he claimed, according to his Quran, that even stones, they fell down for fear of Allah. Do you see it? In fact, Mohammed Hijab himself, he mentioned in the same chapter, he says, not even one thing but do not praise Allah. And this is in chapter of Al-Isra. But you don't understand their prayer. But what Mohammed Hijab, he said, we don't know how they do it. That's not true. We don't understand what they are saying what they are saying. لا تفقهون تسبيحهم. What's wrong with this thing here? Okay. Sometime if you type it without, look what he said when he mentioned in his video, the 7 heavens and the earth and all that therein glorify him, and there is nothing but to glorify him, glorifies his praise. But you understand not their glorification. What Mohammed Hijab he said? We do not know how to do it. There's a huge difference between we do not know how to do it and we don't understand their glorification, because simply that means we hear them but we do not understand, right? Because in order I don't understand how they they're glorified, not how. You see, it doesn't say how. We don't understand their glorification. So the Quran confirm that the earth and the heaven and everything worship him. And Muhammad, he confirmed that trees talk to him, mountains they praise Allah, everything. And this is not metaphorically. As you see, the black stone will come in the day of judgment, is going to have a tongue and a mouth and eyes. Even the Quran in the day of judgment is not a book. The Quran is going to come as a living human being. As Muhammad said, the Quran will come as a pale man, and he is going to witness for everybody too in the day of judgment. So going back to Mohammed Hijab, who is trying to explain to us what is in YouTube. Let us see. Remember now, he is explaining to us exactly the hadith we were reading, where it says the sun goes under the throne of Allah. Listen carefully.
Understanding on the celestial spheres or the inanimate objects is nothing but going against the Quran and a misunderstanding of the entirety of the Quran.
Where it goes against the Quran? I mean, do you see his stupidity? He took us to interpretation which it goes against the Quran. Do you see the hypocrisy, guys? If you don't take something against the Quran is so clear. The Quran says he found it sitting in a spring of muddy water. So what do? You take interpretation of someone who came more than 800 years after Muhammad. In the 13th, 14th centuries, people, they knew that this is fiction, this is stupid. It is you who don't accept the Quran and prove what you are saying. In the hadith, your prophet saying, and the verse you are reading, the sun runs to a fixed course. So explain to us what the course the sun is running to.
So the prostration is not a prostration like, where you put your head on the floor, or the fact.
Who care if it's do the sun even have head? It's stupid. You're stupid. I mean, do you see how it's supposedly he is explaining to us now? He's refuting us. This is not the case. Who care? The sun don't have hands. The sun don't have feet. Who care? But the sun prostrate. That means the sun is an object with a brain. And as we showed you, Allah, he offered the sun, he offered the heaven, the sky, the heaven, the earth. He offered them Islam. They refuse. Which is weird. How they refuse? I thought nobody can say no to Allah. And the one who accepted the duty of Islam was Adam. And the Quran says he was a fool. Do you see it? So, if the sun, the earth, the mountains are not living object, how Allah is speaking to them, offering them the trust? And actually, I find that this is very offending to Allah. The mountains, the sky, the earth refuse to trust Allah. The one who accepts to trust Allah is Adam, and he was a fool. You see here, the translation is very weird and awkward. It says, but they declined, which is true. This is what it says in Arabic. To bear it and they were afraid of it. Was Allah lying? Mimi Hijab? Was Allah making things up when he said they were afraid? They are afraid of what? Guys, read carefully. i.e. afraid of Allah torment. So do the Muslim believe truly, truly that mountains and sky, earth, heaven, whatever you call it, you see, I can say, oh, everything praise God, no problem. Everything praise God, but not, I don't mean that rocks is praying to God. I'm saying when I see them, I see how amazing God is. So seeing the nature make me praise God, but it's not the nature. Like you Muslims, you said Muhammad, he answered the call of nature. Do the call of nature of Muhammad praise Allah? So this verse, which he himself, like in the other verse he mentioned, he tried to cover up, and until now he don't want to show you that Muslims believe that those are living objects. Now, is he going to say, let us see what Ibn Kathir he said about this verse in the Quran, chapter 36, verse number 8. I challenge him. I'm sure he will not mention Ibn Kathir. But remember, he mentioned Ibn Kathir in a different place, right? He mentioned Ibn Kathir previously when he spoke in the previous video. That's the same video actually, but the other part. But is he going now to use Ibn Kathir to prove his point? Let's go and see.
That prostration requires stationary action from the human actor. In fact, with different species, different animals, different inanimate objects, different spheres, the prostration does not in any way need to be correlated with such human prostration. It's not like the sun is growing arms and a forehead and is throwing itself on the floor. This is not the understanding. In fact, the Quran refutes this understanding very categorically.
How?
So this
How?
very literal, it's not even literal, it's a literalistic reading of the Quran and the Hadith is the first point. Is the first point of confusion for those individuals who try and ask about the prostration. So clearly here, the prostration is referring to something which is metaphysical and untappable by the scientific method. And one can say that, you know, the prostration, not just the prostration, but the submission of the sun, the istislam and the sujood of the sun is expected, since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about that the heavens and the earth will obey Allah طوعا أو كرها, willingly or unwillingly. In other words, they're obeying the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, some individuals will...
First of all, you idiot. If we are talking about obeying, that means they have a will. So if I have an object and I use the object as I wish, doesn't mean that they are obeying me, you donkey. So look, he added the word Allah, like the physical, the physic, you know. This is not what the Quran is saying. As you see, Allah, he offer the earth, the heaven, the mountains, the sky. He offered them Islam, the trust of Allah. They decline. So when the Muhammadan, they try to duct tape and they say, well, this is the law of physics. No, this is not about. This is, he's speaking about, he will obey. You just mentioned the word obey. That means I am the one who have a chance to obey or not. And then Allah will force me anyway. But this goes for the human too. Somebody like me, I don't want to obey Allah. I believe he's a piece of garbage. And then if Allah is a true God, he will force me to believe in him. Huh? But that still means I'm a living being. I can make decision to obey or not. And the verse he quote for us, showing us how stupid Mimi Hijab is. Let us live together. Remember, Mohammed Hijab, he mentioned about the flat earth. The verse here speaking about the flat earth. But let us see. Which verse? Yeah, here. This is the verse he mentioned to us. Read carefully. Do they seek other than the religion of Allah, while to him submitted all creatures in the heaven and the earth, willingly or unwillingly? All right, everything submit to Allah willingly. By the way, it doesn't say submit, it says aslam. Aslam means surrender. All right, but here the Quran is showing us against other sign of ignorance, because according to Muhammad, animals are Muslims. If you remember the hadith about the monkey, do you remember it? The monkey who committed adultery. This filthy monkey, very bad family, she did not grow in good house. During the pre-Islamic period of ignorance, I saw a she monkey surrounded by a number of monkey. They were stoning it, or stoning it, because it had committed illegal sexual intercourse. I too stoned it along with them. So according to Muslims, animals, they've been given the book of Allah. In fact, the Quran says that clearly, with no question, that Allah gave book, the Quran, to the monkeys, and to the pigs, and to the goats, to the lizard. Chapter 6, verse number 38. There is not a moving living on the earth, creature on the earth, nor a bird that flies with two wings, but our community like you. We have neglected nothing in the book. Then into your Lord will be gathered. If you go and read this interpretation, you will see that Allah will judge between even two goats in the day of judgment. How I will judge between them? That means they have a brain, they understand the law of God, and they are Muslims, right? So they Sharia law. So Allah will judge between them. Do he accept Ibn Kathir? If he accepts Ibn Kathir, he will make a poo-poo in his pant. He will not accept Ibn Kathir, because the Quran is so clear, saying that whoever in this earth is going to be judged in the day of judgment. This is Ibn Kathir. This is Ibn Kathir in front of you. Everything will be gathered in the day of judgment, and Allah will judge between them. In fact, there's a verse in the Quran that says, وَإِذَا الْوُحُوشُ حُشِرَتْ, when the animals are gathered for what? For day of judgment. The beast, the animals like lions, you know, Allah will judge between them too. This is a chapter supposedly about the day of judgment. It's just a stupid statement. Like you see, Muhammad is trying to end every word with the letter T, which is very easy to do. So when the mountain shall made to pass away, when the brightnet she camel shall be neglected, when the beast will be gathered. Why you want to gather the beast? All right. So all of this about the day of judgment. The beast, they will be gathered together. Here it says, إذا انتطحت عنزان, if two goats fight, Allah will ask them why they were fighting. This is Ibn Kathir. Remember, Mohammed Hijab, he says he accept Ibn Kathir. Didn't he? Didn't he? This is Ibn Kathir. You see it? I will show it to you in English now. I'm showing you in Arabic, but this is Ibn Kathir. Chapter of Al-An'am, as we showed you. Verse number 38. Let us go to Ibn Kathir in English. We don't have here Ibn Kathir in English. Let us copy it from the other browser. I'm using this browser here because it does not allow YouTube to play ad. Otherwise, the other one is better for translation. But let us go and see again the verse. Al-An'am, as you see, 6:38. You see it, number? Because people, they ask. So 6:38, look what it says. Allah will judge between two goats. So what Mohammed Hijab is trying to say, that this is only about the law of physics, the law of nature. No, that is a lie. According to Islam, mountain is a Muslim, the earth is a Muslim, the goat is a Muslim, everything is a Muslim, even pigs are Muslims. All right, read carefully. This is again Ibn Kathir. Remember, the potato, Mohammed Hijab himself, he accepted Ibn Kathir, so he cannot say I don't accept it. All right. Where is the goat? Don't tell me they took it off. Huh? They took it off in English. Where is the goat? Let me search. I don't see the word goat. Let us see, translated maybe sheep. Ah, okay. So look what, guys, it says here. All the creatures, remember, he is the one who said he accept Ibn Kathir, right? All the creatures will be gathered in the day of resurrection. The beasts, the birds, and all others. Allah's justice will be so perfect that unhorned sheep will receive retribution from a horned sheep. Allah will command them, be dust. And this is when the disbeliever will say, I wish I was dust. So Allah will gather all the creatures. And Islam believe that the mountains are creatures. That's why Muhammad, the mountain, they say to him, Assalamu alaikum. The stones, they speak to him. They are living beings. The black stone erased their sin. Allah, he offered the heaven and the earth, Islam, and they decline. They decline. How you can decline if you are solid, if you don't have a brain, if you are not a living being? You can decline only if you have will and you're a living being. So Mimi Hijab, as usual, he failed miserably to answer how until now all this speech still he don't want to go to the point where the sun moved from point A to point B. Continue. We are still waiting for that point.
Say, so why does the hadith say that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is saying that the sun is going somewhere or to an appointed destination in the first place? Now, I want you guys to understand, in the Arabic language, there's two things, something called dharf zaman and dharf makan. That basically, when you're referring to destinations, there are two types of destination, time-bound ones and place-bound ones. As we'll come to know with this particular hadith and the ayah in which it links with this particular hadith, which the Prophet ﷺ mentioned itself, the sun, we know from tafsir, is going towards the day of judgment.
Huh? What he said? The sun is going toward the day of judgment? But this is talking about what the sun set. Do you see the scam of Mimi Hijab? This is why he's terrified to debate me. He told the Muslim he would debate me, but he ran like a potato. Breastfeed adult. What judgment day? We know the sun is going toward the day of judgment. What? You idiot. You just did read the hadith your prophet said that the sun, where the sun goes, Abu Dharr says Allah and his messengers knows best. Muhammad, he told him where the sun goes. Let's go back here. So he's talking about a certain time which is during the day, not in the day of judgment. Now, at the time of the sunset, guys, and look what it says here, tafsir of the Prophet of Allah. Do you have higher than this? Now Mohammed Hijab is coming with a new tafsir, his tafsir. He's trying to make tafsir for tafsir, which means interpretation for the interpretation. But the verse is so clear. At the time of the sunset. At what time? Of the sunset. He said, O Abu Dharr, do you know where the sun set? In fact, in Arabic, it says, Atadri ayna taghrubu ash-shams? Where? You see the word where? Where the sunset. Ayna, for those who speak Arabic. Ayna, not why, not how, where. So the question is from Muhammad is made, do you know where the sun set? The answer of the guy says, Allah and his apostle knows best. He said, it goes. This is not about the day of judgment. Did Muhammad ask the guy, do you know where the sun will goes in the day of judgment? No. Do you see the hypocrisy and the fallacy of this potato Mimi Hijab? He said, if we go to tafsir, well, we can go to tafsir, we can go to Ibn Kathir, the one you mentioned his name. You will go and do poo-poo on your pant when you see it. If we go to Ibn Kathir, let us do that. Potato, Mimi Hijab, potato. All right. So if we go to Ibn Kathir, and then in the same chapter of Ibn Kathir explained to us something hilarious. Let me show you. Remember, he was making fun of those who they are flat earther. uh, all right, let us copy here. So if we go to Ibn Kathir in this area here and we search for that, we will arrive before, because I don't want to go back and read from the start. Where is that? Where is? Yeah, you know, this website. Yeah, this website is stupid. They don't have a certain link for the. I have to go back again. Oh boy. Okay, you know what? Let me go. Let me go then to the other browser. All right. You remember we arrive here where Ibn Kathir was explaining that the sun ran to X course. You know what? Let me play a little bit of the video more. So he finished speaking about where the sun goes, right? Because he mentioned now the sun is going, we know that is going to the day of judgment, which is stupid to say. But let us go back with him, finish what he said, and then we get him busted finally from Ibn Kathir, who he mentioned that he accept his statement. So he cannot swallow it.
And this is the tafsir of chapter 36, number 38, where it says, وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لِمُسْتَقَرِّ لَهَا, that the sun is running to a destination. What destination is it? Is it a time-bound destination or is it a place-bound destination? So the exegetes of Islam, the medieval exegetes, are talking about the end of day. So this is eschatological in nature. It's not talking about a particular place where in which it's going.
You are a son of Muta and you have no dignity and you have no honor. Did you mention which is tafsir is saying that? Remember, he mentioned 3 tafsir for us from the beginning. He mentioned Ibn Kathir, Ibn Taymiyyah, and Al-Tabari. Al-Baydawi, sorry, Al-Baydawi. He mentioned them. Can you read for us? He said this is what tafsir says, but he didn't show you the tafsir. Did he show you the names of the book he just mentioned? He will not. Because those books will get him busted. Play, and we will show the tafsir.
Whether those who espouse the scientific miracles narrative say it's the solar apex, and those who want to talk about the the scientific errors narrative are going to say it's beneath the earth, both of which are not indicated by the primary text. And what's the evidence of this? The evidence of this is the exact phraseology, the exact terminology of the dhahab, of going, is mentioned in the Quran. Where is it mentioned? It's mentioned in chapter 37 and verse number 99. Well, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala narrates that Ibrahim is saying, Inni dhahibun ila rabbi sayahdin. I am going to Allah and He will guide me. The same exact phraseology, dhahib. Inni dhahibun.
What? Do you see the coward? I'm going to my God, he will guide. What does have to do with where the sun goes and the sunset time? So now you just look how stupid you are. Are you saying to me that the sun is going to Allah to be guided by Allah? Do you see how stupid he is? The guy, he said, I'm going to my God to guide me. First, he is a guy, and we understand that he is not going physically because obviously he cannot. But your prophet, your stupid prophet, is explaining, do you know where the sun set? Where? And then after that he says, it goes. So your filthy prophet explaining the disappearance of the sun at the sunset, not in the day of judgment, you liar. Where the sun set? Guys, you see how funny, how silly they are? And notice here, until now, he did not mention to us. He did not mention which tafsir is. He said tafsir says so. How come he don't mention it? It doesn't have a name? Huh? Which tafsir? All those books around him, did he say to us, open page, etc., read, etc.? No. He just said tafsir say. Okay. Which tafsir? This is about the day of judgment. Well, your prophet never said about it. He says, do you know where the sun set? And then he said it goes. Liars, no dignity, no honesty. What does this have to do with the day of judgment? Astonishing liar. I hope there's many Muslims are watching and they are laughing at what Mohammed Hijab is doing to his God. You are making your prophet a joke by the duct tape method. Now, if we say Mohammed Hijab saying tafsir says, but isn't it this is what Muhammad said that was supposedly a tafsir? Are you stupid? What your prophet just said was the tafsir of the verse. Mohammed Hijab, he knew better. He knew better. Who knows better than Ibn Maymuna? Right? Let us see. All right. You know, Mohammed Hijab, he forgot that according to Muhammad, Allah, he have mansions in the sky even for the moon. Right, Mohammed Hijab? You are ignorant and you are dummy. You do not know your book. Isn't it the Quran says that when we talk about resting place, it's a place where the sun rests. And then he mentioned, if you remember, that the sun goes every day and do the same. What judgment day? If we go to the hadith, just to remind you of what he mentioned in the beginning. Let me show you. Just to show you how stupid he is, because the same hadith, not only, I don't want to use the word debunk, make him shish kebab. Read with me. The same hadith reported in many format, because Muhammad, he cannot repeat the same lie twice. Read. This is something the sun will do every day, not once in the day of judgment, as he said. So the sun will goes every day. Read carefully. It goes prostrate itself under the throne of Allah. Then it asks permission to do what? To depart, and it's granted. Do you see it? So every day the sun keep doing this, and then every day in the morning the sun asks Allah to grant the sun the permission to leave, and the sun will leave, and the sun will keep doing this until one day, and then we will talk about the day of judgment. But that will not change the fact the sun is going every day asking for permission to come back. So the sun will ask permission, and that will be in the day of judgment, but not like the sun will ask permission to go back with it will, but not will come back from the same direction. Allah will ask the sun to change course and come from the opposite direction, which means from the west. So either way, Muhammad is a fool. It is the sun moving, and now Muhammad explaining how the sun is coming every day back from the east. So every day the sun go prostrate, ask for permission, until one day will ask for permission to depart. Who is departing? The sun. We are talking about what? About sunset, sunrise, something we have every day. So the whole idea of Mohammed Hijab, the fool, is trying to tell us this is not about the sun moving anywhere. This is about in the day of judgment. You know what? We believe that everything belongs to Allah. Everything have to obey Allah, and the sun obey Allah, and in the day of judgment Allah will take the sun and will destroy it. False. And you are a stupid fool. Anyone who knows how to read, it doesn't matter how smart he is, he can see that your prophet is speaking about daily movement, about the sunset, and the sun will keep going up, going down, going up, and each time go down, go up, it asks for permission, until one day the sun will ask for permission. Allah will not grant it to go back where? From the east. Will command it to go back where it came from. Read carefully. You see it? Where it came from. Which where? The west. And it will raise in its sitting place. Guys, do you see it? Will raise where? In its sitting place. Can we make it more clear than this, potato? Can we make it more clear, Muslims? So, do you find really, Muslims, that Mohammed Hijab, he gave you any true statement in what he's saying? What does this have to do with the day of judgment and submission to Allah? It will rise in its place of sitting. And remember, he said this hadith is sahih. This hadith is sahih. This is Bukhari and Muslim. And this is what Allah meant, Muhammad said, by saying that the sun have a course. And what is the course? What is the destination? Mustaqarrin laha, a resting place, a station. Every day it go rest under the throne. Every day ask permission. Every day the permission granted. Every day the sun leave, the sun come to Allah from the west, and then Allah grant the sun to go and appear to us from the east, until it is time for the day of judgment, Allah will command the sun to goes back where it's coming from. Now that will take us to what? Anyone remember? The murky water. Now hold on. Here it says that the sun is under the throne of Allah, correct? He said the sun prostrate itself under the throne of Allah. But what Mohammed Hijab, he did not want you to know, or maybe ignorant, he did not know. I don't think this guy know anything about his religion. He don't want to tell you that the throne of Allah is above the water. Are we getting the point now? Let us read together. Where is the location of the throne of Allah? Over the murky water. Do you see it? All those hadith saying that Allah always his throne is above the water. And the funny, by the way, even Shaitan his throne above the water. Do you see it? All those hadith, look, let me zoom in so you can read. All those hadith saying that Allah's throne is above the water. So when the sun, let's read this one. This one is easy to read, is short. He created his throne where? Above the water. Do we see it? So now we understand why the sun goes and jump every day in a muddy, boiling, hot water. Are we connected the dots, guys? Did we connect the dots together for you? Do you have now a full image? So the throne of Allah is above what? Above the water. Which water is that? That water is located under the throne of Allah, which is a muddy boiling water. The sun goes every day to that water, inside the water, and then the sun will goes from the other side of the earth. This is why the hadith says at the day of judgment Allah will command the sun to go back where it came from, which means the sun goes down every day in the water, go through the earth, and come back to us from the east. If the sun came back from the hole itself, the water's hole, that means the sun is coming to us from the west. Are you getting my point? So the sun every day goes from the east to the west. What is in the west? Two things. The spring of water, which is muddy boiling water, which in the top of it is the throne of Allah. The sun goes down in the water and go through the earth, as we showed you in the Shia interpretation, if you remember. The Imam al-Sadiq explained, and even other Muslim Sunnis, even Ibn Abbas say the same. So it goes down in the water, it asks for permission after a few hours, like until the morning, to go up from the other side of the earth. And that's how Muhammad explained why the sun is coming from different direction. It's not the earth moving around itself. You remember here Muhammad is explaining the sunset, where the sun goes, trying to explain what? The day and the night. Now if we go to Ibn Kathir even will have more fun. Look at Zulqarnain, how sexy. This is the guy we are talking about, by the way. This is the guy the Quran mentioned that he have two horns, and according to Ibn Kathir and other interpretation, as I remember, that this guy, he went to his people, he asked them to convert to Islam, they hit him with the hammer in his head, And then a horn he grew in his head. He died. Allah resurrected him. He sent him back again to his people. The people, they hit him again with the hammer in his head in the other side. He died. Allah grew for him a horn and he sent him back. You see it? Now, if we go back to Ibn Kathir, which is Mohammed Hijab himself, he mentioned his name. Can he deny his name? No. This is Ibn Kathir. On its fixed course for a term, appointed, between two brackets, this is the first view. It is referred to a fixed course of a location. Guys, do you see it? A location, which is beneath the throne, beyond the earth, in that direction. Wherever it goes, it is beneath the throne. It all of a creation, because the throne is the roof of the creation. It is not a sphere, which means the earth, as many astronomical claim. Remember this guy, he came in the 13th centuries. So now he live in Damascus. They are in close contact with the Christians. This is the land of the Christians anyway, the Greek, etc. So he have a lot of books to learn from the Greek, from the European, from the Syrian themselves. So now he's saying that those stupid people who say the earth is a sphere are stupid, as many instruments claim. Rather, it is a dome. So we have what? We have a dome in the top of the earth. We have a dome in the top of the earth, supported by legs or pillars. Do you still insist, Mohammed Hijab, to read Ibn Kathir? In fact, I can show him from many interpretations, not only Ibn Kathir, saying that the sky have pillars and it is a dome in the top of the flat earth, carried by the angels, and it's above the universe, above the head of the people. When the sun is at zenith at noon, it is the closest position. Remember, this is the 13th, 14th centuries. At that point, it's prostrate and ask for permission to rise. But Mohammed Hijab, he said this is about the day of judgment. And now Ibn Kathir is quoting the same hadith. Do you know where the sun goes? He said it goes to etc. place. All right. It's also reported that by Abu Dhar saying, وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لِمُسْتَقَرٍ لَهَا, and the sun runs to a fixed course. Who is running? The sun. مُسْتَقَرٍ لَهَا, fixed course. And this is the second view according to the translation. It's referred when the sun appointed time to come to an end, which will be in the day of resurrection. And when the fixed course will be abolished, it will come to halt and it will be rolled up. This word will come to the end and will end in appointed time. Qatada said, listen carefully here, it has appointed time and it will not go beyond that. But remember, this has nothing to do with our topic, because we are talking about the sunset goes every day. The appointed point where the sun will not function no more, this is not the topic now. Do you know where the sun set? That was the topic. It goes every day and come and ask for permission. So at the last time, the sun will not be permitted. The sun will come from the west. And then after that, the sun will be destroyed, supposedly. But this is not the topic. The topic is about the sun set, not about the day of judgment. However, There's other problem in the stupid Quran. In the same book of Ibn Kathir, it says that there's other Quran, and this is the Quran of Ibn Mas'ud, saying the sun does not run anywhere. Oops. But remember, Mohammed Hijab, he says this is about the day of judgment, the sun will goes. It turned to be there's other Quran of Ibn Mas'ud say the sun runs nowhere, meaning it has no destination and does not settle in one place. Do you see it? So this is the other Quran of Ibn Mas'ud. Rather, it's keep moving night and day. Guys, does it say night and day? Again, the second interpretation, the other Quran, showing us how stupid Muhammad again, explain to us the day and the night by the sun moving. And then he says, and he made the sun and the moon both constantly pursuing their course. Listen carefully. Which mean they will never slow down or stop until the day of resurrection. So Muhammad explained to us now the day and the night, the sun and the moon, how they are moving. Day and night. Day and night. This is not about the day of resurrection. Until the day of resurrection, all of this will stop. So they will keep going, the sun will keep going, the moon will keep going, will never slow down until the day of resurrection. Now we understand that the sun is truly, according to Islam, is the one is moving from point A to point B, and this is why we have sunset and sunrise. All right? All-knowing. Who knows every movement of every creation movement? So we are talking about what? Movement of the sun. Look, but we are not done. فالق الإصباح وجاعل الليل سكنا والشمس والقمر حسبانا. He is the one who clevered the day of the daybreak, and he is appointed the night for resting. Continue. Now we are talking about the moon. And the moon, we made it have stations. The Quran mentioned physical stations for the moon. The Quran mentioned physical stations for the moon. There's a verse in the Quran that says, يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْأَهِلَّةِ. They are asking you about the crescent moon. What is that? The crescent moon. Say, it is timing for people and to do Hajj. All right. I want to keep going because he should speak about, oh, this is an important one. Allah, he claimed that it's not for the sun to overtake the moon. Each of them has a limit which does not transgress or fall short. We are talking about what? The sun and the moon. What does that mean? How the sun will not transgress the moon? What does that mean? That is a stupid statement. So again, Muhammad confirming that the sun is moving and the moon is moving, but they will never meet together, which is false. They will never meet in the same time. But isn't this what the eclipse is? Are you with me? Isn't this what the eclipse is? Muhammad, he claimed they will never come in the same time. When the time of one comes, the other one goes away. Do you see it? I mean, do we need more proof that the sun is the one is going? So when it's time for the moon to come, the sun goes. And when the time for one to prevail comes, and the time for the other cease. Ikrama said concerning this, it's not for the sun to overtake the moon, explained the Quran. This is meaning for each of them has a time when it's prevailed, so it's not appropriate for the sun to rise at night. Are we done? No, Ibn Kathir have more poo-poo. And by the way, this is not Ibn Kathir, it's the Quran. Nor does the night outstrip the day, meaning after the night have passed, it is not right for the other night to come until it has been a day. The authority of the sun is during the day, and the authority of the moon is during the night. Then, so the Quran described the night as an object, and the day as an object. You know, like God, He said, "Let be light," in the Bible, and that was called day, right? Let be light, light was. Muhammad, he considered the day as an object by itself. Here it says, and this is the most important part of this page. وَكُلٌّ فِي فَلَكٍ يَسْبَحُونَ. That is the disaster. Read carefully. They all who? All who? The sun, the moon, the day, the night. Read carefully. This is not my website. This is Ibn Kathir. Means the night, the day, the sun, the moon. All of them, they are floating, i.e. revolving in their orbit. Do you see it? So the day and the night, explain to us now how it works. They are in the move. The day is moving. The day. Listen carefully, don't mix things up. There's 4 objects here. There's the night as an object. So the moon come at the night, yes, but the night is an object by itself. So Allah created the night. And the night is moving too. So the moon and the night, they come together. The night is an object. The moon accompany the object of the night, and the moon is an object. The day accompany with the sun. The day is an object. That's why it says they each. Do you see the word each? They all. And the Quran is so clear, by the way. It says all, not two. In Arabic, you can say all if they are two, because they are 4, more than 2. So we have to use this phrase. So all they float, and then it says each, all and each. Who? The sun, the day, and the night. And what they are doing? They are floating. And here Ibn Kathir says, in an orbit like an arc of a spinning wheel. Do you see it? So did we prove now that Islam teach that the sun is moving? And not the movement of the sun for normal movement. No, for the day and the night. So this fool, he tried his best to cover up the stupid Quran. But he made a big fat poo-poo. All right? Now, he mentioned that he refuted people who say the earth is flat. In fact, in his video, he said, he refuted people about the earth is on the top of a wheel. Can you believe it that Mohammed Hijab, he decided to speak about this topic? Are you serious? You can refute those who ask and say that the earth is in the top of a wheel? Seriously? Shall we answer this one, guys, or enough for today? I better stop because the internet company are playing games with me. Did the prophet say earth sit on the back of wheels? What the heck? He did not say. Did he say? I mean, you see, Muhammad is like somebody. He was, you know, those the aiming target for the Marines. Like they put for you an aiming target, and then when like 30 guys are shooting at the same time, you will find like 1,000 hole in his butt. This is Muhammad, and the Muslim trying their best to duct tape the ass of Muhammad. Shall we hear this one? Or done for today? You can cut the video. Let's finish this one.
Today, inshallah, we're going to be talking about one of the most specious claims that has come out of this science era narrative, which is this claim that there's a hadith of the Prophet which supposedly says that the earth is on the back of a whale and the whale is on the back of is balancing on some kind of a rock or something to this effect. And this hadith is fabricated. I mean, I don't want to waste too much time with this video, and just to be honest with you, this hadith is absolutely weak in its sanad, its chain, and weak in its content. It's what it's saying. I mean, if you look at the sanad, let's start with that. The chain of narration, we'll know that it has in it Abdullah bin Wahab, it has in it Abdullah.
I mean, always they will find you a finger in the ass of Muhammad. This guy is a liar. Maybe Hijab, he knew the guy. He was existing in his time. Everybody knows he's a liar. And you know, Mimi Hijab, you stupid idiot. So those who they are the scholars, why they want to write the hadith and keep this hadith from generation to generation, print it in books, put it in their books, if it's a stupid hadith? Do you see how, you know, how stupid you are? Hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Listen, listen. Why we don't find the hadith from Jesus saying, I mean, why we don't have a single hadith of Jesus was da'if? The Muslim, they keep saying to us that your books is corrupted, right? But what you Muslims say to us is the opposite. You say that your books are a bunch of garbage. Everything about your prophet is possible to be a lie. And you Muslim cannot confirm anything because a hadith says sahih, other guy says da'if. The same religion, the same sect, the same school, the same. One he say this is sahih, the other one says da'if. One he say I accept it, the other one he says I don't accept it. It's a murky water. The sun set in murky water, right? Why they are saying that this hadith is not accepted or da'if? Why he said that? Because it's obvious it's stupid. It's beyond obvious. It's an embarrassment. But isn't it all the hate of Muhammad are embarrassment? Huh? If there is any hadith came from Muhammad is not an embarrassment. But let me show you something. If we go and see the one who Muhammad named him, Muhammad, he named a person. Who is this person? His cousin. Let us go to English. His cousin, Muhammad did not name anyone to explain the Quran except his cousin, Ibn Abbas. No one else. All right? According to the cousin of Muhammad, the earth is in the top of a whale. Let us show you. If we go to chapter 68, I don't know what's wrong with this website. The second I try to see the numbers, this page shrink. I'm not sure why. What is the mystery behind that? Read with me. Allah. Remember, this is Da'if. Is Ibn Abbas Da'if? Sure, Da'if. Everybody is Da'if. This is one of the earliest tafsir. This is the cousin of Muhammad himself. This is not someone like Ibn Kathir. He came 800 years after Muhammad. This is the cousin of Muhammad. From his narration in the authority of Ibn Abbas, he said regarding the interpretation of Allah saying Noon. Oh, who's Noon? Hey Noon, how you doing? He says Allah swear by Noon, which is the whale that carries the earth on its back while in the water, and beneath which is a bowl. What? Is that Joe Biden? And under the bowl is a rock, and under the rock is a dust, and none knows what is under the dust. Hold on. I just remember something. Let me use the AI, guys. Should we use the AI? What do you think, guys? Should we use the AI, this amazing software, to create? I love this AI. Even it's costly, it's expensive, but I think it's worth it, right? Hold on. Let me give a command to the AI to create what I will say. All right. Create with extreme details earth on the top of a whale and the whale on the water. The whale is a huge and blue. The island full of coconut and palm trees. I think that's enough. What do you think, guys? I think that's enough. Let's go.